Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah.
And I'm Bill. It's great to have you with us today.
Today's episode is something many English learners struggle with, understanding English really well, but not being able to speak it confidently.
Yes, it's such a common situation. You can watch movies, understand conversations, even read books. But when it's time to speak, your mind just goes blank.
If that sounds like you, stay tuned, because in this episode, we're going to talk about why this happens, how to fix it, and practical ways you can start speaking more confidently today.
Whether you're just starting out or you've been learning English for years, this episode will help you take a big step forward.
So let's jump right in. You know, Bill, I was talking to a student last week. She's been watching English TV shows for years. She understands almost everything, but when she tries to speak, she freezes.
Oh yeah, I've heard that so many times. I even have a cousin who's the same way. He can follow YouTube videos, interviews, even podcasts like this one. But ask him to say something in English, and he completely shuts down.
Exactly. And the frustrating part is he knows the words, he understands the grammar, but when he speaks, it's like his brain goes, "Nope, not today."
Haha, that's a good way to describe it. It's like there's a wall between what you understand and what you can say.
And it's not because they're lazy or not studying hard enough. In fact, most of them are really committed. They just don't know how to move from passive understanding to active speaking.
And honestly, it can be discouraging. You start thinking, maybe I'm just not good at languages.
Yeah, but the truth is, this is a normal part of the process. So today, we're going to break that wall down.
Step by step. We'll talk about what causes this gap and, more importantly, how to bridge it.
Let's go ahead and dive into the root of the problem. So, Bill, let's talk about why this actually happens. Why do so many learners understand English but can't speak it?
Great question. One of the biggest reasons is the difference between passive and active skills. Understanding is passive. You're receiving the language. But speaking, that's active. You have to create the language in real time.
Exactly. And most learners spend way more time on passive learning, like watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading articles, which is great, but it doesn't train the speaking muscle.
Right. It's kind of like watching people play basketball all day and thinking you'll be good at it just by watching. Unless you get on the court and play, you won't build the skills.
That's such a great analogy. Another big reason is fear of making mistakes. So many learners worry, what if I say it wrong, or what if someone laughs at me? So, what in stating Dom?
Yep, that fear creates a mental block. Even when you know the words, your brain stops you because you're overthinking.
And then there's the issue of thinking in your native language first. You try to translate everything before speaking, and by the time you form a sentence, the moment is gone.
That delay can be frustrating, and it also makes you sound unnatural because English and other languages have totally different structures.
So, to sum it up, the main reasons are 1. Too much passive learning and not enough speaking practice. 2. Fear of making mistakes. 3. Overthinking and trying to translate in your head.
And none of these mean you're bad at English. It just means you need to train your brain differently.
Exactly. And that's what we'll talk about next, the emotional side of this problem and how it makes learners feel.
You know, Sarah, this issue doesn't just affect people's language skills. It really hits their confidence.
Yes, I've heard learners say things like, "I feel stupid," or "I know the answer in my head but I can't say it out loud." It can feel embarrassing even though it shouldn't.
Absolutely. And there's this constant feeling of frustration, like you're stuck. You understand everything, but you just can't participate in the conversation.
It's like being locked outside of a house where everyone's talking and you can hear it all clearly, but you can't open the door and join in.
That's such a powerful image. And the worst part is, the more you hesitate to speak, the more pressure you feel the next time, so it becomes a cycle.
You start saying things like, I'm not good at speaking, or maybe English isn't for me, which just makes it harder to practice.
And let's not forget the anxiety. Some learners literally freeze when they have to speak. Sweaty palms, fast heartbeat, just because they're afraid to make a mistake.
Which is so unfair to themselves, because making mistakes is how you learn.
Right. No one became fluent without messing up hundreds of times along the way.
So, if you're listening right now and you felt any of these things, frustration, fear, self-doubt, we want you to know you're not alone and you're not broken.
There's nothing wrong with you. You just need to shift the way you think about speaking English, and we'll help you do that, starting with the right mindset.
All right, let's talk about mindset, because before we jump into techniques, your mindset needs to change first.
Definitely. And the first shift is this: speaking is a skill, not a test. You're not being graded, you're communicating. It's okay to make mistakes.
Yes! Mistakes aren't failures, they're feedback. Every time you say something wrong, you're learning what to improve. That's how native speakers learned too, as kids.
Exactly. And that brings us to the second shift. You don't need perfect grammar to speak. Fluency comes from using simple language clearly and confidently.
Right. Think about it: when you speak your native language, you probably make grammar mistakes too, but people still understand you.
And here's another important one. You don't have to translate in your head. Instead, start thinking in English. Even simple thoughts like, I'm hungry, or it's a nice day. That's how fluency builds.
But hear from the product to the tourney that it's a bonner. From more than says is product, saysing the corrents. The convenes that your family take an activity.
These mindset shifts will make speaking feel less scary and more natural. And now, with the right mindset, you're ready for the real tools and strategies.
Let's move into the practical solutions, the fun part. All right, now that we've talked about mindset, let's get into the real solutions, practical things listeners can start doing today to improve their speaking.
Yes. Tip number 1, shadowing. This is where you listen to a native speaker and immediately repeat what they say, almost like you're copying their rhythm, pronunciation, and tone.
Exactly. It helps your mouth and brain get used to speaking English naturally. You don't even have to understand every single word at first. Just copy and speak.
And here's tip 2. Record yourself. I know, it feels awkward, but it's one of the best ways to hear how you actually sound and track your improvement over time.
Right. When you listen back, you'll notice things like pronunciation or word choice, and then you can work on them. Plus, over time, you'll see real progress.
Tip 3. Use voice apps or AI chatbots. There are so many tools now where you can practice speaking with a virtual partner. Zero judgment. Zero pressure.
Yes, it's a safe space to try, fail, and try again. Also, don't underestimate the power of talking to yourself in English.
Absolutely. Describe what you're doing as you go through your day. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making tea. I'm going for a walk. It helps your brain connect English to your real-life actions.
And here's another key point. Start small. You don't need to speak for 10 minutes. Just start with 1 to 2 sentences a day. Gradually, it becomes easier.
Yes. Think of it like going to the gym. You don't lift heavy weights on day 1. You start light, build consistency, and grow stronger.
One last tip. Find a speaking buddy or language partner. It could be a friend, another learner, or even a tutor. just someone to practice real conversation with, even once a week.
So let's recap these practical steps. 1. Shadow native speakers. 2. Record yourself speaking. 3. Use voice chat apps or AI. 4. Talk to yourself in English. 5. Start small and build daily. 6. Find a language partner.
You don't need to do them all at once, just pick one or two to start. The key is speak a little every day.
Exactly. Speaking is like a muscle. Use it and it will grow.
All right, Bill. How about we do a quick role play to practice one of the tips we just talked about?
Great idea. Let's try the talk to yourself method, but with a simple conversation between us.
Okay, I'll start. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and I'm the barista. Go ahead, Bill.
Hi, I'd like a cup of coffee, please.
Sure. What size would you like?
Medium, please. And can I have some milk?
Of course. Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
You see? Simple sentences, easy to practice, and it feels natural. Listeners can try this at home. Just imagine everyday situations and talk out loud.
Even if you're alone, role-playing helps your brain get comfortable with speaking.
Exactly. You don't need a partner all the time. You can be your own conversation buddy. Before we wrap up, Bill, I wanted to share some advice we've heard from real English learners who struggled with speaking but kept going.
Yeah. One learner told us, "Don't wait until you feel perfect, just speak. The more you speak, the easier it gets." That really stuck with me.
Another said, "I started talking to myself every day, and slowly I stopped feeling afraid to speak with others. It's all about small, consistent steps."
Exactly. Hearing from others reminds us that this is a journey, and everyone faces challenges.
If you're listening, take their advice. Just start speaking today, no matter what. All right, listeners, as we wrap up, remember this. Speaking English is a journey, not a race. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you forward.
Yes, and don't get discouraged if you don't see instant results. Fluency takes time, practice, and patience.
Keep speaking, keep making mistakes, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
And here's a quick tip. Set a daily goal, even if it's just saying 2 sentences out loud. Consistency beats intensity every time.
Exactly. Small daily actions lead to big results. You've got this.
Thanks for joining us today. Keep practicing, and we'll see you next time on the English Learning Podcast.
Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. We hope you found these tips helpful.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.
And if you have questions or topics you want us to cover, leave a comment or send us a message. We love hearing from you.
Remember, practice makes progress. Keep speaking and keep growing.
See you next time. Bye for now.